Today we're talking about some Arthurian Legends cards, some trees that have got something to hide, and some things that kind of sound like other things.
Interesting. It's almost like there's a theme woven into the week.
Yes. So this week is all of these cards have got this undercover specialness today.
Undercover specialness. So tenuous undercover specialness in some cases, and sometimes just undercovered as straight in your face.
The more tenuous it is, the more undercover the undercoverness is.
Oh,
so
exactly. I get it. Okay, brilliant. Let's kick off then. So Arthurian Legends.
So we're talking about 4 Arthurian Legends cards today. We've got Bors the Younger, Igraine, Iseult, and Uther Pendragon, who is legendary. He's the one with the undercover theme. So he according to legend, he asked Merlin to disguise himself as his enemy, who happened to be Igraine's husband, who he then slept with. Completely unacceptable, not acceptable behavior whatsoever, and then married. So he is some say illegitimate father of King Arthur.
Oh, I see. Okay, and Reiki, and unlike a lot of Arthurian legends, where there's not much evidence to suggest that some of these people existed, there is evidence to suggest this chap actually existed. Although I doubt the sort of shape-shifting thing happened, if he did.
I agree. I think that's a bit that sort of stretches my imagination a bit too much, I think. I believe in most of it. I believe in like the sword, if you have to, the Excalibur. I believe there was a round table, but I refuse to believe in magic.
Well, it's funny you mentioned the round table, because it's this guy that's actually credited with coming up with the idea for a round table. God,
big day for him. They had to have a break after that.
Till that point in history, there was only square tables. This guy did it. Anyway.
Oh, is that true?
No, there wasn't any square tables, but he invented the concept of sort of equality in terms of the round, I think.
Okay. Well, that's actually really interesting then. I like that. But yeah, so when his ability is familial favors. So when he's returned to your deck, you give King Arthur and Stonehenge, even if they're in your deck, 28 extra power till played, and you reduce the energy of Stonehenge by 3 to the rest of the game. And I think one of these cards, I think it's Bors the Younger, was one of the knights on the quest for the Holy Grail. So he's another Grail boost. So he's, when drawn, reduced the energy cost of your Holy Grail by 3, but also reduced the energy cost of your Brilliant Human Body cards by 1, even if they're in your deck for the rest of the game.
Brilliant. Well, that's a cracker. Moving on now to trees.
The trees with something to hide. Dun, dun, dun. So we've got the Charter Oak tree, the Boab Prison tree, and the Chêne Chapelle. I can't speak French, so I have no idea how correct that is.
Chêne Chapelle, I think.
Chêne Chapelle.
Exactly.
Yeah. So the Charter Oak was a tree used in the story of American independence, in which the Connecticut Charter was hidden inside, away from the evil Englishmen. So that's what the Charter Oak has to hide. You got the Boab Prison tree. Australia Legends said it was used to imprison Indigenous people.
What, sealed them up in a tree? Crikey.
Yeah, there's a massive tree, giant. It's like 1,500 years old, massive tree. It's just got this big hole in it. You can see why it would look like a prison tree. But yeah, so that's the story behind that one. And then the Chêne Chapelle, that's the epic of those 3, and that's the one where it was hit. This is a big tree where it was said that I think William the Conqueror prayed at, but it got hit by lightning, so it got all hollowed out. So the monks thought, okay, let's build a chapel in it. And there you go. Now it's a chapel.
Quite a nice idea for a chapel.
It's lovely. I think it's really nice. Yeah, it still exists now. And they built like an extra bit of chapel on. Wasn't enough chapel for them. But yeah, it was like a shrine to Mary.
But attached a porter cabin to the side. And then we have a critter, a prehistoric critter immediately after that.
Yes, that's called the Platybelodon, and that's a boost for the Bonnet's Head Shark, because they both were called shovel heads. So that's the theme between the Bonnet Head Shark and that one.
And it's related to the elephant, apparently.
Oh, they're all related to the elephant. Well, that one does look like an elephant. I could definitely see that one being an elephant. It's just got cooler teeth. It's got cooler little face. I think this is a really, really fun looking animal. I like this a lot. But that's a paleo buff. So when drawn, it gives your herbivores cards, even if they're in your deck, plus 50 power until played. And then that also gives Bonnethead Shark an extra 30 power this turn. So that's the theme behind that one.
Excellent. You know what I feel like for dinner tonight, Alison? Mountain chicken.
Delicious, Duncan. And what is a mountain chicken, dare I ask?
No, it sounds delicious though.
Well, apparently that is why it's called a mountain chicken. So mountain chicken is actually a big old frog, but apparently its legs taste like chicken, so it's called the mountain chicken locally.
I can believe that. I haven't actually once in my life had frog's legs, and the closest thing I would suggest they taste like is chicken.
Gross. Do you have to like eat the leg? How is it on the plate?
It's just the legs.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not into that.
I wasn't really into it, but
no, don't blame me. Do you eat snails as well?
I have eaten snails. Yeah.
Is it gross?
No, I quite like snails. I think it's about a lot of this sort of French food. I think it was sort of born out of poverty, so they put so much sort of flavoring on it. So in the case of snails, it's just essentially like garlic, garlic and parsley and butter, and you couldn't tell it was a snail at all. You don't just get served cooked snails with nothing on.
I feel sick now, Duncan.
Excellent. Good. We're post-breakfast, so we're good. Right, so we've got the man chicken, and then we've got the orange peel Doris.
Yeah, orange peel Doris is a super cute little sea slug. So if you look at the picture, that's somewhere here.
Amazing.
When it's returned to your deck, it reduces its energy cost by 6 until played. So you play it once, and then it's a 650. And every other time you play it, that's 53 power.
Brilliant. That's a cracker. The lemon slice Nebula, I think, speaks for itself. Let's skip over that, but get me onto my favorite card of the week. I think Sandwich Theory.
Yes. I'm gonna have to try to explain this. If there's 2 lines, if there's the line in between, something about points, the cheese in the middle can't touch the bread. It's like a sandwich. Also called two policemen and a drunk theory, because of 2 policemen. I know how I don't know what these mathematicians were thinking when they were doing this, but it's basically about how if you're going into a jail cell, even if you've got a drunk in between 2 policemen, the drunk, no matter how much he wobbles between the policemen, he can't escape the policeman. He's still in between. So
gotcha. I think that's quite clever. I see what you're trying to get across there. I'm just
very badly
that it's not the theory of making a good sandwich.
No, well, I'm sure there are a few when I was looking up sandwich theories, there's a few out there. So I wouldn't be surprised if there was a theory into how to make the perfect sandwich. But
nothing. Right. Excellent. Anything else you want to declare before we go our separate ways?
Absolutely not, Duncan.
Brilliant. Keep it Q.
You too, Duncan. Oh, keep it Q.
Excellent.
It's all right. Something about points. I feel sick. If there's 2 lines.